and welcome. We're going to do another easy paint with me on a Sunday. So I'm going to be using my Light Wish sketchbook, which is 300 GSM. I'm going to be using my Shinhan paints, and these are the colours: Jaune Brilliant, Cadmium Yellow Pale, Leaf Green, Davies Grey, Olive Green, Turquoise, Cobalt Blue, Lilac, Shell Pink, Brilliant Pink, Vermilion, Neutral Tint, and I've also got a white gouache on this little palette. So yeah, that's, and I probably won't use all those colours. I will let you know as I go along, but I'm going to start with a nice cobalt blue for the top of the sky, and I'm just going to get in my stripe of blue, and then I'm going to start mixing my blue with the turquoise just to change its colour a little bit, and I'm going to do another row, and then finally I'm just going to do the turquoise on its own. And then we've got these three different blues going on. Let me just see if I need my light today. Oh, maybe that is a bit better, actually. There we go. Right, now I'm going to do 3 rows at the bottom. And what should we pick? Let's try and make, because I haven't got a brown here, so I'm going to use the olive green and the vermilion, and I'm going to add a bit more green there, and a bit more green there, and then I've got these 3 different shades going on. So I'm going to start with my green, and we'll get that little row in. Can we call them rows? Let's call them rows. And then we'll mix a bit more of the vermilion in. And then even more of the vermilion. In fact, I might take a bit more of the vermilion. Yes. To get our bottom row in. And so we have our 3 blues and our sort of green going into brown, going into vermilion at the bottom there. And I think while that is still wet, I am going to add a bit more green, so as I get quite a nice brown colour here. And while it's still wet, I'm going to dab in what is going to be some kind of bush at the bottom here. I say some kind because I'm not trying to make anything look like it's an absolute copy of something. I'm just getting an idea in, I suppose. So we can dab that brown in, and then I'm going to take a little bit of the Jaune Brilliant and I'm going to dab that in at the bottom here. And then we can get some kind of bushy thing going on at the bottom. If I bring that up, hopefully you can see my layers there so far. Then I'm going to take an even smaller brush and using my brown, I'm just going to get some twiggy things in the background. So these are just going to all come across. And I'm not worried if my brush skips a little bit. We're just getting these small twiggy branches going on in the background there. And we might even, actually let's add a bit more of the vermilion in there. And we might even just add a few little dots here and there for a little bit of interest, shall we say. There we are. So there's our little twiggy bits and a few little blobs that have got a bit more of the vermilion in them. And so for my next step, I need to dry this. So let's just pause and I'll be back in 2 eye blinks. And there we go, all dry. So next I am going to add to the blue that's here with some neutral tint because I want to really darken that up. There we go. So now we've got this lovely dark colour and we can get some cow parsley in. So we don't want, let's leave those over that side. Let's have our cow parsley more on this side. So maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So those are our stalks. Let's start over this side and get our lines in, and then we'll do another one. And our 4th one. And our final 5th one at the bottom here, like so. And then we need to get a middle-sized brush. I should have said the sizes of the brushes, shouldn't I? And I shouldn't really have left them in the water like that, but basically I have got my Van Gogh brushes. There's 3 of them, size 12, size 8 and a size 4. That's what I've been using, and they are synthetic brushes. Right, now I'm going to take this colour and I might darken it even further. That's good. And we need to get our little flowers on the top of the cow parsley. So we've got our cow parsley. Now looking at it, I think I need more of the twiggy bits. So going back to making a bit more of this brown colour. And it doesn't matter if it's not the same colour. It probably helps if it's not. Just mixing up a brown. And I'm just going to bring those across a bit more, because that's what I've decided it needs. And maybe we kind of need some more coming out the bottom there. Okay, so I've just added a bit more there, and I'm just going to water this down now, but I think I could do with a few lower down, so that we've got a bit of variation going on. And we'll go back to my mixture, and that way we've just added some in, so that they are not all at the same height. And I think that's better then. Yes. Now down here, I think I'm going to let's see, let's take the Jaune Brilliant. Yeah, and just add it to what's in the dish there, and let's just get a little bit more going on down here. Not sure that that is showing up, to be honest. Not on the screen yet. Anyway, and I'm going to add a bit more of the red in there. Or it's vermilion, actually. Because I think that helps tie things in a bit more. There we go. And if I bring that up, you can see where I've just added at the bottom there. And I think over here, just to bring it to life a little bit, I am going to add, with my bleed proof white, make sure I've got enough water on there. I'm just going to add some white splats, just to break it up a bit more. Right, that's more on my hand than on the paper probably, but okay. So if I bring that back up, you can see where I've just added a little bit of white there, and with my small brush I'm also going to add yeah, here we go. I'm going to add some dashes of white down these stalks. Should we call them stalks? Not everywhere, but just little dashes, and the same just down some of these little stems. Because it just ties that in a little bit more, and it just means that you know, things aren't looking monotone, if you like, or flat. It's helping to stop them look so flat. And I think I'm going to just get a bit more in at the bottom here. So I've just mixed my blue with the bleed proof white there. To get a little something going on at the bottom. Oh, actually, that's quite a good highlighter. So there we are, just adding to what's going on a little bit more. And if we take our paper clip off, so this is a nice easy one. We can take off our, which is the whole idea. These are easy paint with me, something that you can easily achieve, that is doable and doesn't take too long. So I'll just hold that up, and there you have it. You can change the colours, you could add some gold, we could do all sorts to adjust it to make it your own, but hopefully that gives you an idea that you can then play with yourselves. But I quite like the 3 different blues in the background, and then the 3 different browns at the bottom there. Yeah, fun, easy, doable. Hope you enjoyed it, everyone, and I hope to see you next time.